Scorpio, welcome to Healing Hype Man, where I do messages for self and I help you build the relationship with yourself and remind you of who you are. I got a new stand, and not a new one, my old one broke. So never mind. We're going to do your monthly here. Scorpio. We're going to dive into your current energy, your challenge reversed, and the near future. This reading can be perceived as something that can trigger you, and my intention is not to trigger you to reinstate anything that you don't want to remember. It's more to trigger you about things within yourself so that you can master yourself, gain more self-awareness, and build the relationship with yourself. You would need to be triggered, otherwise you wouldn't know that part of you unless you decide to dive into it. So my intention is to trigger something within thyself, to master thyself, right? It's not here to belittle you or make you feel less than or remind you of something that tragically happened. That's not where I go here. And this is not a therapy session. But I do offer that as well. You can find me on psychologytoday.com if you are interested. Different type of session. We are in Scorpio, so I would need to change this to Scorpio. If I do talk about astrology, it's for Scorpio risings, but of course Scorpio suns can certainly resonate with that. Let's dive in. Scorpio's current energy, 5 of Cups. Your challenge is the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Something was not giving. Something did not give you what you wanted. And in the future, the King of Swords. This reminds me of like something did not turn out the way you wanted it. I can even say the offer was not what you expected it to be. They were not considering you in this opportunity, person, place, or thing. Something emotionally here didn't turn out the way that you expected it to. And it's just interesting when I see this card after it, it's like it should have been, but it wasn't. Lowballed, cheated out of, scammed out of, gypped, which has nothing to do with you. People are not as nice as you. And where it's leading you is, I'm going to say the interpretation here, like cold-hearted and direct. I want to take out the cold-hearted because I think that you're like, no, I'm full-hearted, but I'm going to be direct. Right now we're talking about assertive communication because we are definitely standing up for what it is that we believe here. Bottom of the deck, why it's all happening. We're definitely standing up for what we know, what we have, the knowledge that we've gained, the way we can articulate ourselves and our worthiness at the same time. Right? We're talking about king level here. Bottom of the deck, why it's all happening. An emotional roller coaster here. Something has been an emotional roller coaster that you feel trapped in. And again, you feel trapped. Doesn't mean you are trapped, right? You can just choose to decide when you'd like to leave that loop-de-loop, roundy-round, merry-go-round, fake sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. This is all about you. We're trying to help you. I want to be there for you, and it's really not, actually. For Scorpio risings, your 4th house of home, family is definitely highlighted. Perhaps some of you might be considering a new home, moving perhaps, or just changing things around the house. Perhaps starting a different relationship with your family members. The Fool here, as I said, the 4th house of home and family is being activated. Something around the home and the family you're willing to considering or willing to do differently, change up a little bit, take a little bit of a risk here. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do it, but it's definitely an area of focus for Scorpio risings. Now, let's dive into this. Something didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and they took more than they gave. They're taking more than they give. Could it be a financial opportunity? Absolutely. Can it be an emotional opportunity? Absolutely. I can even say it could be someone's taking your words. I can even say that, and now you're going to come back like with the real words. This is what the month looks like for you. I can sit here and be like, well, what is this about? What is this about? What is this about? This is a general reading. You guys know this is all general, so you'll take it how it resonates here. I guess what I really want to understand here is, okay, how do we get past this not working out in our favor, right? Keep in mind here, let's not super hyper fixate on what went wrong, because there are still opportunities there. As I mentioned, you're not stuck, right? You're not stuck in anything. There's always option 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? There's other ways to go about it, right? Perhaps there's fear that's sitting in and like, can I not? I do feel like you gain a level of confidence and determination because of this. So I got to be honest here. This is like, I love this because this is like something shitty happened that actually brought more awareness to you, where you're now able to articulate exactly what it is that you want, where you're able to be determined and hyper-focused in one certain direction or whatever this topic of conversation is. And perhaps you're even willing to take a risk with the Fool card here, right? You're willing to take a risk, you're willing to go on a leap because you've been pressed. And you press a Scorpio. Oh my God, I just thought about that. If you press a Scorpio, prepare for the blood. Like you just annihilated yourself, right? Annihilated. Like, all right. So how do we get past this disappointment? Yours is a little different. Yours is a little different here. How do we get past this disappointment? Something's changing here because it's number 5. Something's changing here. Something has changed here. How do we get past disappointment? The Lovers, 2 of Swords, well, the Hierophant. Well, my friend, this was a choice. And when I say this was a choice, this disappointment, I kind of want to say here, like, 1, you learned your lesson, but 2, like, it's a lesson that you needed to sit in. I also feel like you chose this disappointment. Perhaps you even knew. But how do we get past this? It's make wiser choices. Use your intuition more. Take the lessons that you've learned about what this disappointment feels like and move past it. Take the disappointment. What lessons did you learn about yourself? Here's the self-awareness part. What lesson did you learn about yourself? I'm worthy of more. I'm worthy of the crap that you gave me. Okay. Now you're going to go and make other choices here. What did your intuition tell you here? What was your gut telling you here, right? And then now you get to choose who you go up against moving forward. You choose what opportunities and what people and places and things you want in your life, right? Which is going to lead me to discernment, right? Perhaps this taught you more about discernment. And again, not everyone is as nice as you are. So perhaps we're going to discern now who we're going to invest in or allow. I'm gonna give you permission to come into my space to give me an opportunity, right? So which means you have to ask me, hey, I have an opportunity. Hey, do you want to go on a date? I'm gonna choose to put myself up on that app to allow people to come in. Maybe you might say, I'm not taking myself off that app because I no longer want that kind of energy in. Maybe your boss is like, hey, I have an opportunity. No, thank you. Right? It's like discerning before you get to the point where you have to make a choice. Discern who you allow access to you. And I know some people might be like, well, I need whatever I can get. If you have the mentality, then you're going to get the bottom of the bucket, right? It's okay to say no to things. And like, I learned my lesson. I'm not even going to entertain that. Thank you for asking me, but I'm not entertaining that. Now, the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. You were gypped here. You didn't get the opportunity or the offer, or it didn't meet your needs. You know, and I can also read it's like you gave more and they took. You gave a lot and they took. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. The Strength card, Five of Swords, the Judgment here. Ego was here and definitely pushed them away. I gotta say this in two ways here. Someone's confidence got to them and it pushed things away. I'm really getting more of like this actually increased your confidence, right? I think it was their confidence is what pushed this away and unleashed you, their ego. Right? And what does that mean? That means that someone was doing something righteously for themselves and had no intention of helping someone else or the other person in mind. Purely let's just say if it's like a work thing, like this is the rules, I have to do this, but it's not really what I want to do. Or they were just like, I'm gonna lowball them. I'm gonna give them the crap because it's gonna make me feel good. And it actually created a dismissal of your energy and an uprise in your level of confidence, and which is what brought you to the like, I said what I said. Absolutely no. It's not happening here. And perhaps some of you might need to hear that. If you haven't experienced this yet, if this kind of resonates with you, like it's not what you expect, but it is going to make you, it is going to really say what you mean moving forward, right? Perhaps it's your decision on wanting to like move or do something different with your life, or perhaps taking your home environment more seriously or your family more seriously. Yeah, bottom of the deck. This leveled you up, you know, and most readers would be like, oh, I don't want to talk about a bad experience, but like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for those bad experiences. So whether I'm giving you a sign of warning, a clarification, or I'm just lighting some sort of fire inside of you and to understand like your value and your worth, because this is really what this reading is, right? But sometimes you got to go through something like this where someone doesn't value you the way that you see yourself for you to really appreciate who you are. Because we weren't born knowing, we were born knowing our level of status, but the world and day-to-day activity and the years of living in this world, it gets diminished by letdowns and no's and things not working out in our favor. And perhaps we might have been hyper fixating on that throughout your life. And now is an opportunity. Now something happens in your life. Or I'm telling you, or prepare for something to happen in your life. And perhaps that's just the fire that you need. Now we should be grateful for that experience. Thank you for giving me what I'm not worth. Thank you for treating me like a dog. Thank you for reminding me of who the F I am and what I'm actually worth. Now that comes with some humbleness too, as opposed to someone who's just arrogant from the day they were born to the day that they die. They've never felt what it feels like to be disappointed. Clarify the King of Swords, clarify the King of Swords, clarify the King of Swords. Scorpio, 10 of Swords, the Death card, 6 of Wands. I'm telling you, you change, you drop dead weight. You're like, I'm not putting up with nothing. Your level of determination and not putting up with things like changes like you wouldn't believe here. Like it's like a whole rebirth here. Let's pull from the fallback deck. Damn. Moonology. Now I have to pull from the fallback too. Your dreams need a practical plan. It's time to release negativity. You definitely will be here. Surrender to the divine here. This gives me like you have a plan and you have a dream in mind, but you've been holding on to resentment and negativity for a long time, and that very well can be the enlightening aha moment of this 14 minute and 44 second thing. The disappointment is what's holding you back from really showing people who you really are. So once you drop the disappointment, I know that's not easy, once you drop the disappointment, you'll see your life change and you'll see the things that you want come in. Perhaps you needed this experience or an experience like this, or maybe just this conversation. And I don't want anyone to experience this, but it'll be worth it. You know what I mean? I would be surprised if everybody's experienced this. I'm not talking to like millionaires who have never suffered in their life. So yeah, you all have experienced something like this in some form or fashion. And I'm sure it taught you a lot. So I'm here to remind you that don't forget about that thing that you learned from that disappointment. Because it's only going to make you stronger. My name is Alvin Catalan. I'm present. I'm done speaking now.